Hi, my name is Sam Dupree, and my toxic trait is thinking I can read more books at a time than I actually am capable of reading. So today, as I'm filming this video, it is December 20th at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, which is much earlier than I thought it was going to be. So that's really good news for this video. I'm going to show you the books that I am hypothetically going to be reading for the next 2 weeks. That's right, 2 weeks. I am now officially on winter break, barring a work day tomorrow that I have to sign in virtually for. But everything is done. My final grades are submitted. I've got some planning I can work on that I might do tomorrow, but the brain has already left. The brain went on vacation last week, so I'm just catching up at this point. I have a really hard time letting books go unfinished into the new year. So at the very least, I'll try to get them read and done, so I'm not bringing a book unread into January 1st. The second book I can't hold up because it is on my Kindle, and my Kindle is in another room, is Portrait of a Thief by Grace D. Lee. I am on Act 3 of that one. She's got it in like a 3-act structure, which is actually kind of cool. And it's an ARC. I got an advanced reader copy of Portrait of a Thief on NetGalley, and I'm almost through with it. I've got about an hour left as far as reading speed, and so I'll probably actually finish that one tonight, I'm hoping. If I can finish that tonight, my backup for a Kindle book is The Ivory Key, because I believe that is the next ARC that I have that releases earliest. You know, I think it comes out in January, so I want to make sure I get it read before it comes out. But I also have some kind of fun Kindle books that won't take me very long to read. If I pick up another like Ice Home book, the Ice Planet Barbarians like sister series, I may read one of those. But I don't know, it depends. I definitely know I'm going to finish Portrait of a Thief and probably The Ivory Key. I may start The Ivory Key in January. We'll see what happens. The third book that I cannot hold up because I do not have it in here, it's in my car, is Everything's Eventual by Stephen King. I actually started this one embarrassingly in August, and school just was overwhelming, and I did not pick it back up. But it's a short story collection, so it shouldn't take me too long once I actually pick it back up to read it. But I have got to finish that one before the end of the year because I cannot go into the new year without having finishing that book. It will drive me crazy. And so now I have physical books here to show you of what I would like to sort of read before the end of the year, but we'll see. So this first book is an absolute priority. I have to read this book. I have to read this book by January 3rd, and that is Night by Elie Wiesel, because I am teaching English 2, and they are reading Night. This will probably be the only book they read. It's not a big boy. It's got some small writing, but it is not a long book. So it shouldn't take me too long to read and annotate this like I do with all my other like teaching books, to have everything marked in it like I want it. But I have to do this like soon because I want to make sure that I understand what I'm supposed to be teaching, because full disclosure, I have only read Night one time previously, and that is when I was in 10th grade, and that was well over like a decade ago. So I have got to read this again to refresh my memory. I'm excited to teach it. I actually just found out too that I'm going to be teaching an English 1 class. So I will be sandwiching my day of English 2 with a little English 1 freshman class. And they are going to read the Odyssey and Romeo and Juliet, neither of which I really need to refresh my memory on. I'm not going to be too stressed about it. They're not going to be too stressed about it. It's going to be fine. I am unfortunately the like quote unquote residential theater person in our English department. I blame my associate degree in theater, making them think I'm more qualified than I am. But I have some fun ideas about how to teach Romeo and Juliet so they won't completely hate it. And a lot of it involves them being honest about hating the characters. Like, yeah, you're not supposed to like them. They're being very stupid. But I'm lucky because West Side Story just came out. So I can make some fun connections with that. Well, the updated version of West Side Story. You know what I mean. I've got another book that I just recently kind of put in this pile, and this is one where I'll be flexible. If I don't get to this one, it's fine. But it's called Breadcrumbs by Anne Ursu, and I got this from Enjoy a couple months ago, and it's a middle grade with like the world's best cover. I saw on Twitter the other day that, you know, YA and adult are arguing about who has the best covers, and when like middle grade is right there. And they're right, middle grade covers like go off. They do so much. This is beautiful, and I think it is a retelling of like the Ice Queen, like the original like fairy tale of the Ice Queen, where like this girl and her guy friend like grow apart, and suddenly he's being held hostage in a palace made of ice, and so she's going to go save him. So I'm very interested to read this. It looks like it'll be a quick read. It's pretty big, large text. So I may get to that if I want something a little bit lighthearted to look at. The next thing that's adaptable, I would like this to happen, but it's looking more and more like this is going to be a summer job, is I really want to read and annotate Wicked. I claim this is one of my favorite books, but I haven't reread it since probably 2010, 2011, and I used to read it every year around Christmas. And it's a big book. It's got a lot going on, so I'd like to get to it and annotate it, mark my favorite lines, important passages, write stuff in the margins. I have my little annotation kit I got from Owl Crate a while back that I was thinking about using, but I don't know if it might feel like homework. It might feel too much like homework. So I may not get to that this winter break, but it is on the pile just in case. The next thing that's flexible, but I would like to read it because it'll help boost my count, but also be interesting, and the sooner I read it, the sooner I can put it in my classroom library, is this edition of Sabrina the Teenage Witch that I got from Enjoy a couple weeks ago. It's actually the first 5 issues of the ongoing series about Sabrina. So I'm interested to read this, little comic, and put it in my classroom library so the kids can read it. And so that's, again, it's flexible, but that one's so short, I'll probably pick it up. The very next one on the negotiable list is Hidden Sea by Gregory Maguire. Again, if I don't get to Wicked, I probably won't get to this one either. But this is about the Nutcracker, which is a Christmas thing, so it feels like I should read at least one Christmas book this year. It feels like maybe I should make the time for it. And this is also a signed first edition, which is really neat. Didn't realize it was that when I ordered it online like 2 years ago. But that one is also flexible. Like I said, some of the stuff is just not realistic for the time I have it in. But there is one non-negotiable so far. And there's one non-negotiable, and that is Lucy Foley's The Guest List. I'm supposed to be doing this as a buddy read for Gina. She was going to get down like days to read certain amounts, but I may go ahead and just do that and send it to her so we can read it together. We just read and finished the Excalibur Curse last week, and while I have time, it's really nice for us to squeeze in some buddy reads because we can't always get on the same page with our work schedules, but we thought a thriller would be fun to try, and we both have a copy of this book. So this is sort of what I'm doing as far as my physical TBR. Like I said, I've got a couple in audio and Kindle that I'm going to be looking at, and we'll see what gets done. I think my current count of total books read this year is something around 129 or 130 right now. It would be cool to get to 135, but I'm not going to stress myself out about it. I'm already have read more books than I thought I would this year. So it feels pretty good. But anyway, that's what I'm reading. Feel free to let me know what you're going to be finishing out the year with. If there's a certain book that you reread every year. If there's a new release you finally have time to read. If you're an educator like me, did you find time to read this fall? I barely did. I'm proud of myself for the few books I did read, but I don't think spring is going to be kind to me. Take a moment to think about the educators teaching those EOC test courses, because we are drowning in data and the kids are stressed out. So anyway, I needed this 2-week break. I'm going to read some books now for fun. And that's it. I'll see you in the next video.